Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
My oldest grandchild gave me a special gift. It's a 203-page book, and every page is blank. Along with the book, she gave me an assignment. Fill it up with the story of the life I've lived so far. The book is called My Grandfather's Life. It's quite possible someone you love has given you the same book or one similar. This is the third one I've received, and I'm ashamed to admit I didn't get very far with the first two. You've probably seen the format. Every page asks a new question. Describe the neighborhood where you grew up. What outdoor games did you play as a child? How did you meet Grandma? It's an intimidating chore to recall the memories that define us. Where do you start, really? Occasionally, I look at the two earlier books and see that I did a page here, a page there, but there was no commitment to see it through and fill every page. My granddaughter is grown now, a college graduate and a young professional out on her own. The older she gets, and more to the point the older I get, procrastination becomes less of an option for me. So I had an epiphany. This time I would honor a loved one's request and fill the book no matter how long it took. But here's the shocker. It didn't take long at all. Once I started, I couldn't stop. The years paraded before me in my mind, the memories flooding back. As someone who spent a lifetime composing my thoughts on a keyboard, writing them down longhand with a pen seemed strange at first, but I adjusted, even though my thoughts frequently got ahead of my handwriting, sort of like taking a final exam in college. 2 weeks later, working for about an hour at a time, I was done. When I finally put down the pen for the last time, I realized the book was one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever received, even though I had to do all the heavy lifting myself. I think I learned as much about me as my granddaughter will when she reads it. Many of the questions in the book required revisiting events from the past that I had largely forgotten about, or so I thought. One of the odder questions was this one: have you ever been in a fist fight? I wrote that no, I had never engaged in fisticuffs, but for the first time, I found myself acknowledging in my own handwriting that I had been bullied as a teenager. I had never told anyone, including my own parents, about that, and yet here I was, describing to my granddaughter what happened all those years ago. So I was ready when I turned to the page that asked me to reveal what I think my adult self would say to my 14-year-old self. My answer: hang in there. It gets better. Along with all the serious introspection, I tried to have some fun with my responses. Asked what I wore as a kid when I wanted to dress up, I simply said, quote, socks that matched. A little levity, but also a bit of truth-telling. What was my favorite subject in school, another page wondered. English, I said, adding, quote, I spoke it fluently. Maybe you have one of those blank books you haven't filled out yet. Sit down and do it. I guarantee you'll be richer for it. So will your kids and grandkids, who will treasure it after you're gone.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. or hear past episodes at wgte.org/life.